Hello, and welcome to another episode of Love Chronicles with Coach John. As usual, I'm your host, John Gaju, and today we're diving deep into a question that many of us have faced at one time or another. And that question is, how do we truly heal after a breakup? Because breakups can feel like a storm and they leave us shattered and lost. But what if I told you that within the storm lies the potential for incredible personal growth? In this episode, we'll explore powerful strategies for healing and moving forward, focusing on self-care and personal transformation. So grab your favorite drink, as I got my coffee right here, find the comfortable spot, and let's embark on this journey together. But before we go into the practical things, on how to heal after a breakup, we have to understand the pain that we go through, that someone goes after a breakup. So let's start by understanding the profound pain that often accompanies a breakup. This emotional turmoil can be incredibly intense and is a gut-wrenching experience that shakes you to the core. And if you've been there, you will know it. I know I've been there. My last breakup was close to 3 years ago now. And it is painful. And yes, it is a turmoil and it is gut-wrenching and it does shake you to the core. As if you're navigating a labyrinth of sorrow, confusion, and most of all, what I didn't like the most in my breakup was the longing. One moment you might feel a sense of loss, and the next, a wave of anger might wash over you, leaving you questioning everything about the relationship. You ask, was it my fault? What did I do? Am I good enough? Anyway, but as I think most of us know, or some of us will realize as I'm saying it now, breakup pain is not merely emotional. It has physical manifestations as well. And in this sense, the research, there's a research from the American Psychological Association, and this shows that heartbreak can activate the same areas in the brain that respond to physical pain. So this means that the heartache you feel can be just as real as the pain from a physical injury. You might ache, your stomach might feel tight, your chest can feel heavy, you get to shake out of nowhere, you get the panic attacks, and it's a visceral experience. And it's often accompanied by fatigue and a sense of disorientation. And I'm telling you, you can also find it difficult to sleep, eat, or even concentrate on daily tasks because your body reacts as if it's undergoing a traumatic event. Well, yeah, because it is a traumatic event. Losing someone, it's a traumatic event. And I was reading, I don't know exactly by whom right now, but they were saying that an actual breakup can feel like somebody died, like you lost someone. So unfortunately, I felt both of them, and I can confirm that to a degree, the loss of a partner, it can feel in many ways as if you lost like a family member. So it is pretty strong, if you can think about that, if you equate both of these. And the emotional aftermath can lead to a myriad of feelings. Because one moment you're sad, then you got regret, and sometimes you get this overwhelming sense of guilt. You might find yourself replaying memories on a loop, the good ones and the bad ones, and you relive moments that now feel tainted by the breakup. And guess what happens next? Well, you get the thoughts like, what did I do wrong? Could have I saved this relationship? Oh, should have I acted this or this way or that way? And these things flood your mind because these thoughts, I'm telling you, they can be debilitating and they leave you stuck in a cycle of self-blame and questioning your worth. And not a few times after a breakup, many people do lose their self-esteem, or their self-esteem gets a massive blow. And furthermore, there's often a deep sense of loss, not just of a partner, but of the dreams and future you envision together. You might grieve the life you are building, the shared memories, and even the mundane routines that provided comfort. And it's a complex grief that intertwines hope, anger, sorrow, making it difficult to process. What does that mean? There's so many words, but you ask yourself, what happened? How did I get here? Well, I had all these dreams. I want to buy this house in Portugal. I want to buy these 2 Labradors. I wanted to get the studio for painting for her. I wanted to get me, I don't know what car. We wanted to travel in that place and that place. We wanted to do this for the kids. And you get all these dreams, and that's where you realize you haven't just lost the person, but you actually lose the dreams, the plans that you had together. And that adds to the pain. And the loss of companionship can lead to feelings of loneliness. And yes, you do feel extremely lonely after that, even if you're surrounded by friends and family. And this loneliness can feel suffocating as you learn you learn, hey, I'm actually alone. And what happens? I mean, alone in the sense that you don't have that someone close to your heart, that one that you can tell them anything, and you can cry about, or you can tell them just the most insane thoughts you have, or your vulnerabilities. And at one point, you feel that the person is not there because, well, they're not there anymore. So you also find yourself, as I was saying earlier, you find yourself wrestling with feelings of insecurity. And after a breakup, I'm telling you this, so don't feel like it's abnormal. After a breakup, it's common to question your desirability, and fear that you may never find love again. So am I still desirable? Will somebody else even like me anymore? I wasn't able to make this person stay with me, which is crap. You cannot make anyone, or no matter what you do, at some point, some relationship will end, and it is what it is. And what happens when this gets in your head that you're not good, that you question your desirability, and if you're desirable or not, this can lead to a spiral of negative self-talk, where you begin to doubt your value as a person, simple as. And these feelings can be isolating, often making you retreat inward and away from social situations, further deepening the sense of loneliness. So what happens? Well, I don't want to see anyone. I don't need to see anyone. I feel good on my own because I don't care about the world. Anyways, I'm not good enough anyway, so why would I want to be with other people? And yeah, in essence, breakup pain is an intricate tapestry of emotions that can leave you feeling vulnerable and exposed. And it has multiple faces, and it's multifaceted experience that encompasses not just emotional turmoil, but physical reactions, grief for lost dreams, and a profound sense of isolation. Recognizing and acknowledging this pain is crucial to understanding the healing process that lies ahead, which we are going to talk about next. So the first thing that I'm going to address is, if you want to, to heal or to get yourself better after breakup, what I would like to talk about is strategy number one, I like to call it, and it's called self-care. Because self-care, it is absolutely important, one of the most important steps in this recovery thing. And it's not just a buzzword, it is an essential part of healing. As the dating coach Matthew Hussey often emphasizes, he says, you cannot pour from an empty cup. Well, I've heard that others people saying it, and we all know you cannot pour from an empty cup. And after a breakup, self-care might feel selfish, but I'm telling you today, and better don't feel bad about it, don't feel guilty about it, because self-care, it's absolutely necessary. And well, John, what do you mean? What do I need to do in order to do the self-care thingy? Because it sounds such a buzzword, and you can find it all over social media. But how in the world do I do this? Well, simple. Do the things that you like. Do the things that help you get better. Things that make you, that feed you, that feed your mind, feed your body. So the first thing I'd like to say, that if you don't have a healthy physical body, it's hard if you have physical pains or if you're not in good shape. It's actually easier to become depressed and stay in that depression. So my first thing when I talk to everyone is physical activity. Engaging in physical activities can boost your mood and energy, and it's proven by psychologists and every document out there. If you read about exercise and the boost that gives your mind and your mood, it's already proven and it's there. And because exercise releases endorphins, which are known as the body natural mood filters. Whether it's a morning jog, a dance class, or even a simple walk in the park, movement helps release these feel-good endorphins. And consider trying new activities as joining a fitness group to combine self-care with social connection, which I highly recommend because at some point you might want to meet other people, which is, it normally happens, but it's nice if you go and looking for this. Just go take care of yourself and go socialize. Don't just stay in the house. Even better, look for activities you loved in the past, but you have neglected during the relationship. And that happens a lot because we say, oh, I want to give all my time to my loved one. And of course it does. It's normal to give time to your normal one. But many times, and this is a small parenthesis, we forget to do the self-care in a relationship. And once you don't take care of yourself, once you don't do the self-care, the strategy number one, the self-care thing, you cannot love others. The Bible says love thy neighbor as you love yourself. So love your neighbor as you love yourself. So if you love yourself a 3 or a 1 or a 5 out of 10, how can you love the people around you? So if you want to be a good person, okay, let's say we're turning this around a bit, yeah? You don't want to be selfish. Well, at least love yourself so that you can be able to love others around you. So that you can be able to pour love into your kids and to your family members and to your friends. Because let me tell you something, you might have lost a loved one in terms of a partner, but your kids are still there, your mom is still there, or your brothers are still there, and your friends are still there. So remember that. Invest in yourself so that you can love them also, like you're supposed to love them. The next thing I'd like to, to encourage you to do, like strategy in this strategy of self-care, is mindfulness and meditation. Take time to reflect. And mindfulness practices such as meditation can help you center yourself and reduce anxiety. And I tell you, for me, one of the biggest things was anxiety. After my relationships ended, I had this feeling of anxiety at every single corner, and I didn't know what to do about it until I spoke to my therapist, and they said, well, you know what, there's a thing there which is called meditation, and it does help you with it. And my first instinct was to laugh. Oh, give me a break with this mumbo jumbo kind of thing. I don't, what am I going to do now? Just go play with goats and just count and meditate and do what? But it does actually help. And trust me, I'm not normally into things like this, but as I said, this podcast is my journey. And I found out that meditating and calming your mind and allowing yourself to think about things, it does help you. And they said, well, John, I'm not very good at it. I cannot, some people with ADHD, they have a hard time doing that. Well, I have another suggestion for you. How about try journaling? Because journaling about your feelings can be incredibly therapeutic. It is a chance to express your emotions, and this is the place to do it without judgment because it's just you with yourself, And I'm telling you this, and I urge you to do this. Try spending just 10 minutes a day writing down your thoughts or practicing mindfulness through guided meditation. Websites and apps like Headspace or Calm can provide excellent resources to get started. No, they didn't pay me to do this, but to say this, but I just found them on my own, and they really helped me out. And the third part of self-care. So we have the physical activities, you have mindfulness, meditation, journaling, which helps with this mindfulness, and it helps you get it all out, basically. Get all that venom out, get all that bad thing out, just put it out on the paper. Make sure it's out there, make sure you think about it, and then it's out. It's therapeutic, and it helps you relax, it helps you chill, it helps you calm down. It just happens. And the next thing in self-care is nourishing your body. And I love this one because you focus on papa. You focus not on that kind of papa, not on daddy. You focus on food. Like babies say, papa. Focus on nutrition. You focus on eating good. And I tell you, what you eat has a direct impact on how you feel. Load up on fruit, vegetables, and whole grains. Your body deserves to be treated well, especially during tough times. Because you know what I used to do usually when I'm fighting this still, when I go through a bad phase, when something happens, and you're probably the same. I drink tons of coffee and I don't do any food. And guess what? It does not help. In fact, it makes me feel worse because I start shaking and I think, oh, is this anxiety and I'm not good and I just want to feel sleepy. And if you stay in bed all the time, well, your anxiety and your depression only grow, deepen. So eating good food is essential. Consider cooking new healthy recipes. You just go online and look, or try meal prep as a way to both nurture your body and keep yourself occupied. And I was talking to somebody the other day. I said, man, for cooking for me, just chopping the onions, chopping the little things, and taking my time with a little music, a glass of wine, it can be incredibly therapeutic. So yeah, just try and feed your body, because nutrition impacts our mood and energy levels. Oh my goodness, energy levels is so important. But in order to have energy, you need to have fuel, and that is good food. So this one is an easy one for me. So be mindful of what you're putting into your body. And I want you to remember this, okay? Self-care is not indulgence. It's a vital part of the healing process. And it's about prioritizing, whatever you call that word. I could never say prioritizing yourself and recognizing that your well-being matters. So just put yourself on number one for a bit, because I want to go back to that Bible verse that says that love your neighbor as you love yourself. If you cannot love yourself, there's nothing that you can give. Which moves us to the strategy number 2, which is extremely important also. I mean, all of them are important. I don't know why I keep saying extremely important, because all of them are important. But this one, I called it emotional release. And I call it emotional release because holding onto emotions can feel heavy, like a backpack filled with stones. And it's time to lighten your load. Actually, about this, Coach Nicole Moore suggested that expressing your feelings is crucial. And she advises, she says that talk to friends, family, or even a therapist about your experiences. Well, what I like to say, I say especially talk to a therapist if you need to express yourself, because many times talking to friends and family can burden them, or you can, it's not always the best. But if you do have amazing friends, amazing family members like I do, I was able to do both. So I did therapy and I had friends who I was able to talk for hours, which helped me a lot. It was amazing. So, but the idea is letting it all out can be cathartic. Sharing your thoughts with trusted individuals can provide new perspectives. That is absolutely wonderful, because you don't see the situation, the breakup, the whole relationship. You don't see it just from your angle, but you see this from another, from another perspective, and it's amazing to have that. So you get new perspective, and another important thing is this reduces the feeling of isolation. You say, whew, I'm actually not alone. And I've had this feeling so many times when I was talking to one of my best friends, and she's in Romania right now. When I was talking to my sister, or I was talking to my friends around here. And after I finished talking to them, I was like, whew, I've lost this person, but you know what? I am not alone. So I also say, consider creating a playlist that resonates with your emotions. So what does that mean? How are your emotions right now? Well, I feel like crying. I feel like shouting. I feel like, I don't know. Well, yes, get that playlist of the cheesy playlist out. Get the tears out. And because music can be a powerful way to express feelings we might struggle to articulate. Whether it's heartbreak anthems or heartbreak songs or uplifting tracks, let the music guide you. Dance it out in your living room if you have to, or sing at the top of your lungs, and let your body feel the music and release those emotions that that are all there, like locked up. Because from my experience, singing can be particularly liberating. What works is, I know it sounds silly, get your song, because I'm sure, like, if you've been in a relationship, you had a song together, that it was like your song. Once in a while you send each other, there you go, baby, I love you back. So that will remind you of her, or remind you of him. And you know what, it will make you sad, and you might even cry. But yes, I tell you, do not hide those feelings. Allow yourself to feel the pain, allow yourself to cry, and because it is liberating. And what happens here is, your nervous system, your body will take over after a month, 2 months, after a while, and will say, enough with this pain. And it's, again, I said it, and I say it every time, the human body, the human brain, the way we were created, it's absolutely fantastic. And if you learn tricks like this, how to how to navigate it, I guess, or how to direct it in ways, the brain is an amazing defense mechanism. All right, so just cry your heart out, scream, shout, sing in the shower, do whatever you want, but let your emotions out. And that is the emotional release. And also, just came to me, like, in addition to talking to others in music, consider engaging in creative outlets like drawing, painting, crafting. They can be incredibly therapeutic. I'm not any good at drawing or painting or anything like that, but many of you, I know that there's many of you out there who are very artistic, and they get emotion out by doing this sort of stuff, or writing poems, poetry. I can do that, and I like doing that. But the idea is to allow yourself to express emotions in a non-verbal way. It is a beautiful way to channel your feelings while exploring your creativity, isn't it? So the strategy number 3, this is focus on personal growth. Because you know what happens when you hit rock bottom? Well, there's no way down. And the only way is up. And breakups often signal a chance for transformation. And this is absolutely beautiful, because every ending can be a new beginning, and it is exciting. And this is the moment to rediscover yourself. And for me, my breakup was, it was painful, man. I'm telling you, my divorce was painful. My breakup after the first and single only relationship I had after my divorce was absolutely heartbreaking. And I tell you something, these these events in my life, both traumatic, helped me grow, and that's why I've started studying, and that's why I enrolled into I started doing my master's in psychology, and I enrolled with the Gottman Institute, for to teach other people. I started reading, and I literally, in the last couple of years, I read hundreds of books on relationships, and doing my podcast. I started my social media, and I can say that I literally helped hundreds of people already. In this short time, like 3.5 years, 3 years, 4 years, I literally helped hundreds of people overcome issues in their relationships. And I don't know if I said it here before, but I've had 4 women that I talked to them and they said at some point or another, like months later, usually they said, you know what, John, because I talked to you at 3 o'clock in the morning. I talked to you, I don't know, on such and such date. You remember when I called you then? It helped me not to commit suicide. So yeah, I'd like to think that I'm on my way up, and I'd like to think that I'm a better person than I was 3 years ago. And I want to encourage you today. Okay, you're down. I know it hurts like hell, but I want you to focus on your personal growth. And ask yourself, it starts by doing this. What do I truly want? What have I learned from this relationship? And reflect on these questions until you gain clarity. Perhaps you've realized that you want to explore new hobbies or invest in new friendships. Do it. This is the time to chase those passions that might have taken a backseat. And maybe you consider creating a vision board that encapsulates your goals and aspirations moving forward. Because visualizing your future can ignite motivation and help you focus on what lies ahead rather than what you've lost. And I know it's painful knowing what I've lost. And at times, even now, thinking about it, it still pains me to know what I've lost and the ideas I've had. But you know what? In the meantime, I've created new dreams. I've created new ideas. I am excited about what's my next partner gonna bring and how she gonna be and how my life looks. And I'm excited about doing this podcast. I'm excited helping you, people like you, and thank you so much for being here on this journey. Yes, let's talk. Let's talk and share experiences and let's grow together. And as I said, visualizing your future can ignite motivation, because think about it. Every morning you wake up, every night you sleep, you say, I want to do this with my life. I want to do this with my life. And just be specific. I want to move there. I want this house. I want this kind of car, or I just want to move on the small house on the beach. Just talk about it, visualize it, and then put the steps down how you're going to do that. And this act of creation can serve as a daily reminder of your journey and your capacity for growth, because I tell you something, there is immense capability and capacity for growth in each and every one of us. Did you know that a study from University of California found that people who actively pursue new interest after a breakup report higher levels of happiness? Well, yeah, I'm going to invest in myself. I'm going to take care of myself. I want to improve myself. I want to get from A to B. So in order to get from A to B, I have to do certain things in my life that improve my life. And engage in activities that excite you not only shifts your focus, which is extremely important, but can also lead to meeting new people and forming connections. Hello? So there's so many people after breakups, they just lock themselves in the house and they say, well, I'm never going to find anybody ever. Nobody likes me. Well, bro, sis, if you don't get out of the house, nobody's going to see you, and nobody's going to knock at your door and say, hey, John, do you live at number whatever? I think I want to have a connection with you because I like you. No, get yourself out there. But that's for another podcast. That's for another episode and another idea. The next one is building a support network. Well, what do you mean by this? Well, one of the most crucial strategies is building a support network. Like people who have your back. Surround yourself with those who uplift you. Yanala Verzant, she's a relationship coach. She often says, you are only as good as the people you surround yourself with. And I probably heard this a million times from my dad. And you probably heard it too. You're only as good as the people you surround yourself with. And this is your chance to strengthen existing relationships or cultivate new ones. Don't hesitate to reach out to friends or family who understand your journey. If they can't be there in person, today we are so lucky to have technology, and it makes it easier to connect. Video calls, voice messages can bridge, that distance, and it can remind you. One of the strongest things here, it's that they remind you you're not alone, and it's extremely vital. It's very, very important. It's vital to know that in this process you are not alone, because you're not. And I realized I have my sister, I got my mom, I got friends, I got my sisters, not just sister. I do talk to my sisters a lot. So, yeah, it is amazing because that helped us through this process, it helped us get our relationship stronger with the ones that I have already in my life and that they're always going to be in my life. Additionally, if you don't, let's say you don't have a big family, you don't have a lot of friends, well, we have social media, so consider joining support groups, whether online or in person, because that's what I've done the first time. And I joined groups like, for single parents, for divorcee, for people that go through a lot of heartaches and things that we had in common after breakups. And you know what? It did help a lot. And that's how I started. That's how I actually discovered that I want to do this, because after a while of writing things in there and talking to people and literally, advising dozens and hundreds of people, I said, well, this is my calling and I can actually help people. And it is amazing. And engaging in these communities can create a sense of belonging and allowing you to heal alongside others who truly understand your struggles. And you know what? It's been like 4 years since I've joined these sort of groups, and I've made amazing friends in these environments. Remember, the goal is surround yourself with positivity, and sometimes this means letting go of relationships that drain your energy. Oh yes, get rid of them. The ones that pull you down, they're not your friends. And focus on nurturing the connections that lift you up and they remind you of your worth. Strategy number 5, and the last one, I promise. As you begin to heal, it is time to set new goals. These can be personal, professional, or social. Write them down and create a plan. I know this point sounds like the previous one that you were saying, you need to improve yourself, and better yourself. But this is more profound because I want you to make a strategy. So, okay, get yourself, improve yourself, work on yourself, but also make a strategy. Set feasible goals. Set goals. Well, actually, screw it. Set goals that are science fiction, and reach for them. You might not reach them, but you will reach closer to them. So just dream big. Dream big, and you'll see how your life improves. It gets better. So what I suggest to do is write them down and create a plan. Start with small, achievable goals that can provide motivation and a sense of accomplishment, but never forget the big ones. Never forget the big picture and where you want to be, but focus on small things. And do small things and achievements and put them down as a tick marks. Boop, look, I've done this. It is amazing. And you feel so amazing even by cleaning your silly house. It does feel good. I say I want to keep my house clean every week. I'm doing this and that. And every time I do it, I feel so good about myself. It's not the hugest goal in the world, but being clean is amazing, isn't it? And having a clean house, it is amazing. And you know what? It does affect my mental health. And I feel better about myself when I do that. So whether it's cleaning your house, whether taking a class, starting a new project, or planning a trip, let your goals guide you towards a brighter future. Consider breaking larger goals into smaller, actionable steps, because this makes them feel less overwhelming and more attainable. For example, if you want to travel, start by researching destinations or budgeting for the trip. I know you might not have the money now, but start budgeting for it. Maybe say, well, next year I'm going Thailand. I'm going Bali. Well, you have 30 quid in your pocket. You have $30 in your account. It's fine. Think about it. How much is this trip? Well, 1,500. Well, start saving because you got a year ahead of you. And you know what? You can put 100 aside a month if you want to. And you can do it. I don't know what you do, but you can do it if you put your head to it. Create a lifetime for when you'd like to achieve these goals. And this structure, this whole thing becomes a structure and becomes something that if you keep doing it, it's repetitive. And this structure can help you keep focused and excited about your future. And guess what happens when you are excited about your future? Well, you're not as sad about what you're going through right now because you're excited about your future, and you're definitely not sorry for what's behind you. The future holds endless possibilities if you open your heart to them. And setting goals is about creating a roadmap for your life beyond the breakup, because you know what? Your life did not end at that breakup. It was a good experience overall. It might have been heartache, it might have been everything. I don't know what you went through and how your relationship was. But I remember I was just talking to my ex just not a long time ago, and I think she said it. She was saying, you know what, John? I think that, while we've been together, and after that, we remained friends for a while. And she said, I think we helped each other becoming the best versions of ourselves, whether through struggles, whether to good things. But the end result is we're both motivated now, and we're better people. And I know she's a better person because of me in her life, and I'm definitely a better person because of her in my life. So if you want to keep the positive things out of a relationship, you can do that. But do not dwell on the past. Just focus on your future, set new goals, and move forward. Do not even think about that past anymore. What for? You got a new, exciting life ahead of you. And setting goals, as I said, it's about creating that roadmap for your life beyond the breakup. It's about envisioning what you truly desire and taking steps to make that vision a reality. Envision it and strive for it, work for it, get excited about your future. Yeah, healing after a breakup, it is a journey. And it took me a while, but I can sit here today and I can say, whoo, I am okay. I'm not in pain. I don't feel any pain. I just feel gratitude for what I've been through. And it's a journey, and it's okay to take your time. Don't set, oh, I'll be fine in 3 months, 6 months. It took me a few years. It took me a few years, my last relationship, to go, to get over, so to say. But each person's experience is unique. There are people who can do it in months, 1 month, 2 months. Good for you. And there's no right or wrong way to heal. Just do it your own way. Remember, the pain you're feeling is valid. Acknowledge it, feel it, and allow yourself the grace to move through it at your own pace. As we continue to explore strategies for healing in upcoming episodes, I do encourage you to be gentle with yourself. I do encourage you to love yourself. I do encourage you to fill your cup first. Just like, like in the planes when, they get them bags with oxygen down. Even if you're with your child next to you, put the oxygen bag on your face first if you want to help the people around you. You say, John, I don't want to be egocentrical. I don't want to be selfish. Well, don't be. Invest in yourself and take care of yourself in order to take care of others around you. Because no matter what you think, you are still an island to the people around you. And what will they find? They'll find a barren island, or they'll find an island that has water, that has coconut, that has a lot of food and everything, shade, beautiful beaches. And this is an analogy that I found in Charlie Jones's book, when he said that we are all like islands, and we interact with people around us. What will they find? Will they find barren islands, or will they find like oasis, like pure places of oasis and happiness? And that is your choice, of course. I've given you like a skeleton, like a map, kind of, just go with this. Start by taking care of your body. Start with taking care of your mind. Start with setting goals. Just let yourself feel the pain. Cry it out. Get yourself a support network. Get people. Meet new people, or deepen the relationships you already have with your family, with your friends. And I'm telling you, going or overcoming a breakup, it is possible. And not because I read it in books or anything like that. It is because I'm here today and I went through it and I am okay. Looking at me a few years back, about 3 years ago. Oh my goodness. I wouldn't think it's possible. You wouldn't even think it's possible either if you saw me back then. But it is possible. And I'm happy today. And I am excited. And thank you so much for joining me on this journey. Thank you for joining me today on Love Chronicles with Coach John. If you found this episode valuable, don't forget to subscribe and share it with someone who might need it. There's a lot of breakups going around us. Until next time, take care of yourself and embrace the journey of healing.